She has a lot of language degrees, which could broaden the children's view of the world.
She also has experience in teaching in a one-on-one situation. But do you think she could handle a class?
I don't know. Let's
ask her in.
Miss Kaylee James, so why do you think you're suitable for the job?
Personally, I think I'll be suitable for the job because I have experience with teaching children. I also feel that I'm academically qualified for the job. Personally, I think I'll be suitable for the job because I have experience with teaching children. I also feel that I'm academically qualified for the job.
So you say you have experience teaching children. Could you explain more, please?
Okay, I've successfully taught numerous pupils in a varied age range that include young children. Therefore, I think I'm adequately qualified for the job.
And why do you want the job?
None of my jobs have been very long term, and I'm eager for a long term job so I can settle down and earn valuable experience for this or future jobs.
You say you haven't had any long-term jobs. Would you say you are unreliable?
I completely disagree with this. I'm only 27 years of age, and I've decided I want a job that is long term and I can enjoy.
Is that your main reason for applying for this job? A long-term teaching career? And how long are you considering being in this job?
I not only want a career in teaching, I enjoy working with children. But since a young age, I have always liked the idea of helping people to learn. And while I was teaching piano, it gave me great satisfaction to see my pupils succeed in their exams, some of which passed with a distinction grade.
That's good. Enjoying this job is necessary for success. I'm going to give you a situation now, and I'd like you to answer on how you would deal with it. It's a rainy dinner time, and the children are playing inside with their toys. You see across the classroom a child reaching for scissors on a high-up shelf. You are about to approach him when you hear two boys behind you shouting. You turn around and see one of them hit the other. What would you do?
I think my only option would be to shout at the child reaching for the scissors, split up the fighting boys, send one of them out and sit the other down in the corner to calm down, and then go and get the scissors for the child and go deal with the children who are fighting.
Okay, thank you. I think we've had enough here. You may go.
Overall, she seems very good, but she doesn't seem completely capable to manage a class as she has no experience in doing so.
I agree. I think she would only be suitable for an assistant teacher, and we do not have any open for that.
But in my opinion, I think that if she had training for dealing with classrooms, she could be a good candidate.
Okay, let's have the next person in. Mr. Thomas Harris, why do you think you are suitable for the job?
The main reasons I think I'm suitable for the job is I have a good experience with dealing with people. I also have experience with proofreading and processing applications for new tax credits. This means I'll be able to correctly mark children's work, which I feel is a valuable skill for teaching.
I agree, but in your CV you do not mention any experience with children. Do you have any experience that you did not mention?
I have had some experience with children. I'm sorry for not originally including that in my CV. I spent about 6 months doing voluntary work in an orphanage. I greatly enjoyed this, and I think I learned a lot about children's emotions and how to deal with them misbehaving.
That's good. I'm going to give you a situation, and I'd like you to hear how you deal with it.
Okay, I enjoy roleplay.
You are teaching art. A child has stolen another scissors. You hear one of them swear at the other, but you're not sure which one said it. Neither will own up to it, and the other children either didn't cheer or won't tell on a fellow classmate. What would you do to find out the culprit and punish them?
I would try and ask politely who swore. If no one admitted, still, I would move the two children to separate tables in the back, where they're not allowed to move from until one of them admits. If neither of the children admit by the end of the day, they both have to stay in dinner times for 3 days. And if they admit, I'd keep the one who swore in for 2 dinner times.
That's a very good answer. You seem to have a very good knowledge of how children act and how to be stood. That's enough, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity.
No problem. Now for Miss Sian Jeffers.
Hi, I'm very grateful that you've given me this opportunity.
I have read over your CV and I'm quite impressed with the contents, especially your ability to play the harp.
Thank you very much. And yes, I am grade 7 harp, which is, in my opinion, is a bonus on behalf I could play some music in the assembly, perhaps.
Yes. I see you've had a one-on-one working experience with Year 7. How do you think you've had enough patience to handle a class of 2 pupils?
Well, I've had a babysitting experience as well and therefore have to have a fair amount of patience.
Now, I shall put you in a situation where the children have drank 6 cups of coffee, each therefore storing a high amount of caffeine in their body, and are running wild around the class. What would you do?
Good question. Well, to start with, I would call the children to the mat and praise them for listening. Secondly, I would read them a story to calm them down, and then finally would play a soothing tune on the harp to get them off to sleep.
Good answer. Now, if asked to drive people to such a place as on a trip or maybe a competition involving travel, would you be able to do so?
Why, yes, I could. I could use my car that can hold up to 6 children, or maybe drive a minibus.
Why do you think you are capable for the teaching job?
Well, in my opinion, I'd be great for the job, for I enjoy and have experience with children. My patience is of a high standard, and I also my qualifications, and finally I'm very successful in physical education, therefore allowing me to do PE with the pupils. So overall, I'm a hard-working female searching for an exciting job as a teacher.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, down to business. Who do you think is the best candidate for the Year 2 job?
Well, in my opinion, Sian Jeffers is the best candidate for the job because she has experience with teaching young children. She has patience because she has taught disabled children. She has consideration for different religions, and she has a great understanding of world culture because she is she's well-travelled.
I think also she is the perfect for the job because she has experience in teaching young children, and because she has a variety of different job qualifications, she also has to keep the children entertained.
Okay, so we are agreed that Sian Jeffers is the best option for the Year 2 job.
Yes. Now, what about the Year 6 and the assistant head job?
I think that Thomas David Harris is the best choice for the job. What do you think?
I also think that he is the best choice for the job because his previous jobs implies that he is organised and is self-disciplined to a degree that he will be able to keep more boisterous students under control with ease.
Also, the qualifications on the CV indicate that he is fair but strict, and that is exactly what Year 6 students need. Toughen them up for a comprehensive school.
Okay, so are we settled on Thomas David Harris as a Year 6 student teacher?
Yes. He also gave me the impression, a good impression in the interview.
What about Kaylee James? I've looked over her CV and she looked like a promising candidate.
She seemed quite nervous in the interview, and that is quite worrying. It makes me wonder, would she be like a robot in front of the class because of the nerves that became too clear in the interview? I think she would be overcome by her nerves, and therefore not to be a suitable teacher.
That is an interesting point. I hadn't noticed before, but I trust your judgment. Are we agreed that Thomas David Harris is the best candidate for the job?
Yes.
Let's bring him back in. The job of a Year 6 / assistant head is a tough job to fill. We have looked at your CV and we are a little concerned about your attitude. The interview had made our worries were erased after your interview.
After much consideration, we have come to the decision that you are the best candidate for the job.
Thank you very much. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Now, let's have Sian Jeffers in.
Yes. Miss Jeffers, we thought your CV was rather promising, and your interview was a little shaky to start with, but your interview only convinced us that you are a very strong candidate for the job.
After taking into account your CV and what we heard in the interview, we have decided to offer you the job of a Year 2 teacher.
Thank you so much.
We will contact you about your job details at the end of the week.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Now for the letdown. Miss James, we have studied your CV and have taken into consideration what you said in the interview. And after a lot of thought, we have unfortunately decided that the other candidates were better qualified for the job. I'm sorry you didn't get the job.
That's okay, thank you. That's fine. Thank you for the opportunity anyway.
Okay.
Thanks.